Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Afnan's Rare Reef. It's a Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill inspiration or twist. And I think it's a welcome one for that. But before I get into that, if you haven't checked out my channel or don't know what my channel is about, I'm going to be teaching you about fragrances. I'm going to be doing some reviews. And overall, I'm encouraging you guys to do decants. Now, I am launching this channel and I am promoting this channel in order to offset the decant prices I can provide so I can give you guys the best decant prices. However, I understand that you might be a little hesitant. If that's the case, you can go to places like Lucky Scents, I believe Scent Box or Scent Bird, something like that. They also sell decants. They're also reputable. There's places like Decant Box. So, you don't have to go through me, but I think you should be buying decants. Don't buy full bottles. It's not really worth it. Something like this is going to run you $40 to $50, but you might not like it. You might like another version of the Pacific Chill, inspirations. You might just want a clone of it. So, see what works for you. And if you haven't watched that first video of mine on YouTube, you should check it out because aside from the fragrance education, the decant education, and the promotion of my selfish promotion of my site trialvials.com, I'm also doing giveaways. So if you go watch that first video and you like, comment on it, and you're subscribed to my channel, you're gonna be entered for the giveaway. I'm giving one 10 ml decant of this. It's Al Haramain's Vintage Silver. Can't speak today. And then we have two people are going to be getting two 5 ml decants. Well, one 5 ml decant each of Mango Ice by Gulf Orchid. And honestly, this is poised as one of the better clones of Godafire because of its price point. And I'll talk about that in my Godafire Super Dupe video. But honestly, get decants, guys. Spend the $5 to $10. Yeah, sure, you might pay a little bit in shipping, but then you know, buy 5, 6 decants at once from someplace, and then, if you don't like it, you can throw it away or give it away to someone instead of buying, 2, 3 bottles that are gonna run you 80 to $100, and now you're stuck with, 2 bottles you might not like that are just empty space. So instead of doing that, get decants, guys. All right, but enough of the preamble. Let's get into it. All right, so if you haven't seen the unboxing videos, it's a very, very simple box, and just do be careful once you open it because there's not really much holding this down. As you can see, I have my finger on it for a very good reason. If you let go of it, it's gonna fall. Now, this bottle is kind of peculiar, interesting. It kind of reminds me of like a potion. So it's kind of like it reminds me of the potions from Shrek 2. Donkey, donkey, where are you? That's where it's from. Yeah. So it reminds me of Shrek 2. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? But it has this lovely little kind of opal like pattern on top here. That's kind of lovely. The cap is also quite sturdy. Just don't go too hard with it because it will give, as you see. You can see I've been playing around with the bottle. So let's get down to the smell itself. Now, this, of course, is a Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill inspo. And if you don't know Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill, it essentially smells like a LaCroix or a seltzer water. Basically, it smells like, hey, we want this to smell like a fruit, but like what, you know, Schweppes thinks of seltzer water and fruit. Yeah. It's like, hey, Schweppes, we like your seltzer water with, fruit in it. We want to make that smell. So that's what essentially Pacific Chill is. But this is a citruser? This is a more citrus forward and sweeter version of Pacific Chill. And honestly, it is so much lovelier. With Pacific Chill, it's a very just muted kind of fruit smell. And it literally just smells like, if you go to the store, you buy a bottle of seltzer water, you open it, and you smell it, mix a little bit of sweetness into there. That's essentially what Pacific Chill is. This, on the other hand, is taking that sweetness and kicking it up. I want to say 5 notches. So if I were to rate like the sweetness in Pacific Chill, I'd rate that like a 5.5. This one I give a solid 10. So I guess 4.5 notches. But yeah, it's a very citrus forward, but it still has that like seltzer water fruit kind of vibe, and it's a great fragrance for summer. I could see this being a gym fragrance too if you don't mind smelling a little bit more fruity and sweet in the gym. It's not cloying. It's not that cloying sweetness that you get with like the BR 540s. And if you're one of those people that wears BR 540 in the gym, what are you doing? Why? Seriously, stop it. Stop wearing BR 540 in the gym. Okay? All right, that's enough of my PSA. But so this is definitely a fragrance that I'd say this is a fragrance I would say is unisex, and it doesn't lead femme, it doesn't lead masculine. It just is. It's just purely unisex. It's a sweet fragrance. Honestly, fragrances like God of Fire are to me a little bit more feminine, but this is truly unisex. It's not something that a manly man would wear and feel, you know, uh, less manly, or for someone that's insecure would feel emasculated. I think this is a great, like, all over unisex, citrusy, fruity fragrance. Because the fruitiness in it too isn't like, it doesn't have that, I don't want to say gourmand aspect to it, but it doesn't have that sweetness that kind of is bright. So if you smell God of Fire and you smell that mango, it's like the actual brightness of the fruit kind of hitting you. This is more so, you know, taking the peel of an orange and a lemon, and then maybe some having some strawberries or something in the back, and maybe some like cut up pineapples somewhere in the distance, and having all those kind of smells come at you at the same time. It's not heavy, it's not hard hitting, it's very light in a good way. And in terms of projection, it's okay with the projection. I'd probably personally give this, I'd probably give this like a 7 out of 10 with projection. Same thing with the Siage. Siage, I'd maybe give it like a 6 to 7 out of 10. Um, but the longevity though, honestly, I'd say that's like a 9 or 10 out of 10. And I don't put that lightly. I'm a guy who runs hot. I'm a bigger guy too. So if a 200 plus pound hairy brown guy can wear this, go to sleep, wake up, and still have, hints of this on him, I can't say that that is any less than a 9 or a 10. I'm completely subjective with that, yes. But honestly, dude, if you know brown guys and you know how much we sweat and how bad we smell sometimes, the fact that this can perform and still be there after I've gone to sleep, after I've sweat, and it's still there, it deserves like a golden star. Okay. And that's also what makes it great for the gym. So if you want to use this for gym, casual wear, daytime wear, it's definitely great for that. I really wouldn't wear it for a date night or anything like that. I don't think it's like geared towards that, but it's definitely a great casual daytime fragrance, gym fragrance. You can even probably dress this up in the office if you want to do that. I'd recommend maybe layering it and kind of infusing something a little bit more, um, strong with it. If you're a guy, if you're a woman, honestly, this would be fine just as is for you. As a guy, you might want to put something else on if you want to dress this up, but you can dress this up. And dress down is also easier too. You know, you can layer it with something a little bit more fresher and leaner. You can take something like Hawas, which is super popular, or Hawas Ice, and layer it with that. And, you know, you get this like super fresh, sweet vibe, you know, going. So, you know, this is available for like $40 to $50. I will be throwing it on my site. But comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you guys want to see. Do you guys want me to order more of this? If you guys want to see more of this, I'll order it. If you guys want to see me put out the entire Louis Vuitton line with all of the inspos of all the Louis Vuitton fragrances, let me know. You know, I'm here to try and give you guys the best experience for fragrances. I don't want to push blind buys on you, and I don't want to tell you that something's great when it's eh. But this, it's pretty darn good. So that's my take. But spend better and spray smart. See you guys next time.